In this video, we're going to talk about how to follow up with any got backup leads that you got from any affiliate traffic that you sent out. So if you didn't check the other video out, make sure you go and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like anything so that you can stay in touch with what is going on and I can keep doing these videos for you. But in a previous video, I showed how to get tracking links. For example, if you're using different providers for solo traffic or different banner ads that you're putting on different websites, maybe you have a blog, you got a YouTube channel, you got social media, and you want to know where all your leads are really coming from to get your best ROI, you're going to do that tracking. So make sure you do that. But the question is, what do you do with them when they actually get there? So hey there, this is Dave Gardner. Obviously, hopefully you've seen me before or you're just randomly finding this, you get to know who I am. But I am the one who actually created a lot of the training videos that are in this member area and in associated member areas with the parent company from CEO Joel Tarian. And so I have known Joel since about 2009 when I started using his services to host my websites and to create my first email autoresponder list, so on and so forth. And so in this case, I want to help you with some information here so that as soon as you start getting those leads, they are going to be getting information from you and direct follow-up from you instantly. And so there's a couple things you need to do to set up before that. And so once you've opted in here, let's say you click the link below and you've actually joined, you've set up your account. Obviously, if you work with me, I'll be able to give you a little more hands-on help. What you are looking for is the digital tools section. When you click digital tools, you are going to go to lead capture system. So again, we're assuming that, let's say you already have the leads, but in order to get the leads, you want to have the stuff set up first. And so you need to obviously know how to send out that link, and that was in the other video. But also I want to show you how to follow up with those people. Now, we don't see it right here, but most of these buttons, and I'm going to show you here in a second, most of these buttons that you press, you are going to be able to have a training video. And so like I said, I created training videos for Joel a few years back, and they've also been pulled in because the setup of the software is the same. You're still using the same lead capture system. And so for example, what we want to focus on and what you're going to look at is a couple things here. And so you can look at the different campaigns you have. You can look at and create follow-up messages, which we want to focus on today. But you can also create live broadcasts and send a broadcast. And then obviously you can see what subscribers you have, so on and so forth. And so if we want to follow up with those leads, we want to be able to have an automated system that is ready to go as soon as that first lead comes in. You don't want to do it after because those people will miss kind of the boat. And so what you're going to do is you're going to click on, or it says message. So again, you have gone over to digital tools. We click lead capture system and you want to go to message. And then we are going to click follow up. Now, in this case, there might not be anything set. So there's a couple different campaigns here, and you may see this is a demonstration account. This is not my account. This is just a demo account. And so there's a couple different scenarios here. If you are going to do traffic, the link that I shared in the other video, those people will end up in the pre-enrolled campaign. So if we click the pre-enrolled campaign, there may be emails already in here if you paid for the upgrade to get a series of emails added. So for example, in this case, there is a series of emails that have already been added, and that might be the case. Now, if that is the case, what I would highly recommend is that you go in and you edit those emails so that they sound like they're coming from you. So I'll give you both scenarios and we'll take a look at one of the other campaigns. So for example, let's say they opted in, they're going to get that instant email. Notice it's sent after day 0, and then every other email is sent one day after that. So the next day, then one day later, one day later, one day later, one day later. So what you want to do, if you get those pre-populated, if you took the upgrade, got the pre-populated email, go over to that first icon. It looks like a little pen or a calligraphy status. You're going to click on that, and that's going to open up the email. Now, once that opens up, you have the ability to change whatever's here. You could change, I would recommend just leaving this one so it draws attention to their name. Welcome to Got Backup, so they know exactly what it's related to. So that's pretty much okay. We have a nice format. So you got the Got Backup logo. Then it just says, I'm reaching out. I wanted to introduce yourself as your sponsor. I'm here to help you grow amazing business from home. My name is blank. Now this will automatically populate because it's in the system as you. I'm here as a team builder for Got Backup. Imagine being able to blah, 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 blah. Okay, then it goes through a whole bunch of other stuff. And again, it gives you this information. Now, one of the things that also shows here is the address is the address of the company. That's not your address, that's the address of the company. So I would go in and edit that address so that it reflects your address. Okay, or just get rid of it. If you wanted to delete it, you could delete it and get rid of that. If you wanted to add a picture, for example, if you wanted them to know what you looked like, I'm just going to put the cursor there. I'm going to click down and I'm going to come up to where I can edit. And just like any other, systems that you've probably had, Microsoft Office, email, there's a lot of the same symbols here. I can click the image and I can add an image. I'm going to upload a picture of me. I'm going to go for the pictures just so people know who I am. And so there's a video of me doing, got back up. So, what is got back up? There's me just sitting cool. But that's not the picture I want to use because it looks goofy. It's from the side. So we just have a nice, kind of profile picture of myself. I can actually change. This is a pretty large size. So I'm going to change that to about a 300 by 300. I'm just going to change the first box and I'm going to click out of it and it automatically adjusts that one. And I'm going to click OK. And if we notice that picture's there, it's still pretty big. I can just click and drag and I can shrink it up a little bit. It seems a little bit easier. Now people know who they're talking to and they can put a name with a face. Maybe they find me on Facebook and they see this is the same thing. What you could also do is, say, hey, P.S. my best email is this, or also come meet me on Facebook at, HTTPS, let's see, facebook.com/Gardner5. And so that's the link to my Facebook. And so all I have to do is then, if I just go in and edit, and maybe there's something in here that you think sounds not like you, or you want to maybe make it sound more like you can go in and edit anything here. The key thing after you are done editing, click the edit button. If you don't click the edit button, it won't save. So notice the message has been updated successfully. So if I go back into the follow-up, we'll go back into the original follow-up list and it all looks the same. But if I go back and just to check it, when we check it again, it should be there. Okay, so we're going to see the picture and we're going to see my Facebook address. So there's my picture, there's my Facebook address at the end. Now notice these are showing highlighted blue as a link. Now you can do tracking links if you want, or if it gets sent without it, it usually becomes a live link anyway, assuming you have the proper setup. So if I were to copy that link and I said, oh, I want that to pop out to be blue, I'm going to then go up what looks like the little chain link. I'm going to insert the link. We already see that there is my thing right there, and I want it to go to the same URL, so I'm just going to copy it. If instead I wanted it to say, join me on Facebook, it would change that. So for example, I could change the text to say, join me on Facebook by clicking here. I can do that as well. So if we change that, now that I have the link, I have the text that is going to be hyperlinked or super hyperlinked, I guess. And so notice this is also come meet me here on Facebook at join me at Facebook. Okay, so that's a little redundant, so I want to get rid of that. And I can just delete that. So join me on Facebook by clicking here. And like I said, I want to put this address. This is the address of the company, so I'm not going to change that right now. But that's what you would want to do. Maybe you have links. I could have linked my Facebook to this link instead. Maybe this is my Instagram. This is my YouTube. All I'm going to do, so for example, if this is the link, I've clicked on it, it's highlighted. I'm going to then go up and click the link. Notice there's an edit insert link. It has it going someplace else. So this is my YouTube. We're going to go HTTPS. Let's see, type that in there, youtube.com/barefootpainting. And I'm going to click OK. And now that's going to be linked to my YouTube. So if you want to do this, again, you could go through and edit all your messages, and you might have to do each one, which could be a slightly painstaking process. But in the long run, you may have the format set up, and you do it once, and then you're good to go. So like I said, make sure you edit that so you know that that's good to go. Once we go back, though, we can see this following series. You can always add any other message. And so if I want to add a message, so notice we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 messages. And I can manipulate and modify these. Let's say I read through all of them and I think, oh, this one seems a little bit better. Or maybe I notice some details where I'm getting more opens on this email. watch this one. Notice how it's third from the bottom. I can easily click and drag it, and I can move it up here. And so now notice it's fourth from the top instead of third from the bottom. So I can change and rearrange any of those should you want to. You don't have to, but you can. And you can do that for your own that you create as well. And so if I wanted to add another one down here at the bottom, so I got whatever, I said 10, I want to add the 11th one, all I'm going to do is click add follow-up, and that new message will be there. Again, I would do the same thing. I have to type materials, or I could copy stuff from one and I can add it into the other. So let me just show you how that works quick. Let's say we go in and we click edit, and what I want to do is grab the code so that I can copy it and paste it into that next video, or excuse me, that next template, excuse me. So if we see this whole thing, we have a border and a boundary there, and we got all the stuff at the bottom. If I go in and click this last little button, the source code, that has the code for everything. So I'm going to click in the box, and I'm going to do Control A, which is going to highlight everything, and then I'm going to press Control C, or you can right click on your mouse and you could just copy. So I'm going to cancel that, and I'm going to go back to the follow-up. And notice this one was, welcome to Got Backup, reaching out as your sponsor, blah, blah, blah. So what we're going to do, we're going to create a last or a next email. And so I'm going to click Add Follow-up. And when you click Add Follow-up, it's basically going to ask you when you want to do it. If I want to have every single one go the next day and the next day and the next day, I'm always going to keep that at 1. And then I'm going to say, hey, it's been about 10 days. Curious what is up. Okay, and so now we know it's been about 10 days since the person was added because it's 10 or 11 days later. Notice this is completely blank. Okay, this is completely blank. There's nothing in it. It's an empty template. I can choose. There's some preset made ones here, so you can do a preview. So for example, if I want it to look like that or look a little bit more like this, there's a lot you can go in and edit. Or if I want to use the same ones, I would just click that source code again. I'm going to click Control V now because I'm going to paste everything, or I could have right-clicked my mouse and pasted it, and I'm going to click OK. So notice now I have the same thing there from my original email. So everything came along. There's my Facebook link. If we go and click on this YouTube button, if I go back up and click the link, we're going to see that obviously there's a lot of code here, but if we scroll over, there is my YouTube address right there, Barefoot Painting. So everything came over, which is really cool. But obviously I don't want this to say the same thing as it said 10 days ago. So I'm going to cancel that. But I might get rid of most of this stuff. And let's say we get rid of all of this junk. And I'm going to highlight some of this from there to my name. I'm going to get rid of that. And I'm going to change this. Take action with Got Backup, and we're going to put an exclamation mark there. And so again, this is where I can change stuff. So I already mentioned that it's been about 10 days. So hi, subscriber first name, just curious. It's been about 10 days since you pre-enrolled with us and Got Backup. And I am wondering, make sure I spell it right, wondering what is holding you up from saving your precious photos, videos, documents, and more. Keep me posted. And be sure to check those messages as well from our CEO, Joel, who will also share some great stuff with you as well, such as webinar times and specials. And then, obviously, if you have, for example, whatever your link is, blah, 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 there's your link. You're going to add that in there. Anything you want to add in, you have the ability to add in. Okay, there's a whole slew of things you can do. And then what we want to do is at the end, once you've created your message, so notice again, this one was, hey, it's been about 10 days, curious. what's up? I'm going to click add, and that is now going to be my next message. So the message has been successfully added. We're going to see that here, or added successfully. When we scroll down, there it is at the very bottom. Hey, it's been about 10 days. Curious what's up. So notice that didn't go to anyone. We're just testing this out just so you can see what's going on. Now, that again is if you had your own setup. If you did not have a setup, now what you would do instead, let's say we have a custom campaign. I'm not sure if some of these are blank. I'm going to see if we can find one here that's blank. Custom campaign 1, because again, this is a demo account. There are a series of emails. Okay, so let's say custom campaign number 1, there is nothing here. And likely that is what might happen when you first go into the Got Backup pre-enrolled. If you didn't take the upgrade, you probably won't have any messages in there. So you might see something like this where there's no messages at all. You're going to do the same thing as I just did on the last one, but it's just going to be your first one. You're going to click add follow-up. And what you're going to do is just welcome them. But the first message, if this is your first message, the key thing right here, and I can't stress this enough, if it's your first message, if there was no messages before, like we just saw, it was totally blank. If this is your first message, turn that to a 0. What that means is it will instantly go out. So as soon as someone opts in, they're going to get that email propagated and sent to them. So this is where you could make your own statement. So again, welcome, to GBU. You just, something like Smart Move getting pre-enrolled. Now, at this point, if you didn't have that other template to copy, like I said, I went into the source code and we copied it all. At this point, you could create your own template and see what other templates are there and find one that works for you, or you can just keep it simple. If you want to keep it very simple, all you have to do is start to go through the process and type an email like you would normally type an email to someone. Now, a couple things to point out. You can click something like Insert Fields, go to Subscriber, and then go click first name, and it will automatically propagate that so that it is a little more personal. So I'm going to do a thing like, hey, just wanted to congratulate you on getting pre-enrolled with us in the Got Backup family. And then obviously, whatever content you want to write, there's all of your stuff, whatever, then you have your link. If you want to add another link or your social media, however you want to do it. Thanks, and let me know how I can be of help. Dave Gardner. And then obviously if you want to add your phone number in there, you want to add your email, social media. Again, if I want to go in and add a picture, I'm just going to click upload again. We're going to browse for an image. Sorry about that. I don't know. I think I clicked it too fast. So I want to click the same image, and we change that. I think we made it a little smaller. So I'll go 200 by 200-ish. Click OK. Not too bad. And then again, if I want to add anything else, I can go for it. Now, this is as basic as you can get. Okay, there's a lot of other bells and whistles up here that will allow you to get more elaborate. Again, if you want to have a template, make it nice and easy. This is plain and simple. But if we notice, welcome to GBU, Smart Moving and Getting Pre-Enrolled, we're going to click Add. If you don't click Add, it won't obviously add it. So the message has been successfully added. It's going to bring us back, and we're going to see that we now have one message. So there we go. Welcome to GBU, Smart Move Getting Pre-Enrolled. There it is. So once I am sending, again, like I want to have a bunch of messages pre-populated or ready to go, because once I start sending the link through traffic or through my blog, I want to be able to not only have the ability of Joel or the CEO to follow up with those leads, but I also want to start to establish a relationship with them, because they're going to have a better chance to work one-on-one with me than they will with Joel. Obviously, they can get on weekly webinars with Joel or weekly webinars with other people that are hosting, and they can invite training webinars. But the easiest way, obviously, to establish a relationship is to have some emails set up so that they can have a way to get in touch with you. So make sure your name is in there, obviously, your email. A picture would be great. Having social media connections is even better, because it gives them a way to make a connection with you. Maybe they start following you on social media and they start seeing the type of person you are, they start engaging with you and they start following more things that you do. And it might lead into other business avenues. One of the cool things about Got Backup is that we don't restrict you from only promoting Got Backup. You can promote anything you want. Now, to be honest with you and upfront, and as a disclaimer, obviously, if you click on any link here, I'm going to earn a commission. You'll be joining my team. I'll get a commission on that. Or if you make sales, I might earn matching check bonuses on that. And the other thing is, this is something that I do in my spare time and the part-time and on the back end. I'm a full-time high school chemistry teacher, and I run other marketing businesses, and I do other marketing things on the back end. I promote other products from the lacrosse niche to the health and fitness and nutrition niche and to the marketing niche. And so you might see some of the other things that I promote in my follow-ups. And again, that's one of the cool things about Got Backup is that they're very open to allow you to promote whatever you want to any other people, as long as you're following, appropriate guidelines and not trying to cross-recruit and things like that. So hopefully you found some benefit from this. One of the things I wanted to point out as well, I didn't see one pop up, but most of these buttons, if we click on any one of these buttons, most of the time, if you're going to go through, especially if you want to create a send broadcast, you have videos that I personally created for Joel many years ago. So if you click on any one of the orange buttons, you will typically see some of the information. Now, having a follow-up series is different from having a send broadcast. A send broadcast is more for a live event. So right now, I am just creating this video. It is December 29th, 2023. And if I were to do a send broadcast, I would talk about things that related maybe to Christmas and New Year's Eve because they just happened. They're fresh in everyone's mind. In a follow-up, though, or an automated follow-up, I would maybe stay away from that, or I would reference it as always being in the past. I would say something like, oh, I remember one Christmas when, and then I could talk about that because someone who gets in your follow-up list and gets you in your automated follow-up list, I should say, might see those emails a year, 2 years later, depending on as long as you stay a member. And if you continue to send traffic to that campaign, those people will get those messages potentially years later. And so if I'm talking about something that's very current in a follow-up, it might not make sense. So if it's Christmas and I'm talking about hanging up the Christmas tree, or maybe you went out and you had to go through a foot of snow to cut down the Christmas tree, but in reality it's the middle of June when someone opens that doesn't really make sense, especially if they live in the United States. Southern state, it's going to be really warm. Even in New York where I live, it's going to be very warm in June and then the rest of the summer. So it wouldn't make sense to be talking about a Christmas tree unless I was talking about a moment in the past. Okay, so follow-ups, and when you add your follow-ups, keep them a little more generic and focusing on past events, or talk about things in the past tense. If you're doing send broadcasts, the send broadcast you can talk about as a live event because you're going to be sending that immediately. And in some cases, people might be getting both the follow-up and the send broadcast. If you have a series of 10 or 11 emails like we saw on the other thing, but then you're sending live broadcasts every day, obviously for the first 10 days that someone joined your list, they're going to at least get those 10 pre-populated and follow-up messages, but then they might also get any other additional broadcast messages you send out. And so if you're on my list, you know that I like to send out current promotional offers that I'm doing, or any bonuses that I'm offering to incentivize people for taking action and seeing the vision with us and joining, whether it's Got Backup or something else that I'm involved in. And I'll also give training. Maybe I'll give some motivation. Maybe I'll give another little strategy, and obviously a call to action. You always want to have a call to action to get people. The whole point of this is you're running a business and you want to make sure that you continue to make sales. So there's a lot more that you can play around with in here. We're already at almost 25 minutes. So I appreciate you following along, and I hope this has helped. If you do any questions, obviously make sure you're clicking the buttons over here if they are available for further details and training. Make sure you click the FAQ if you have any questions. And finally, leave a question below if you have any comments. If you enjoyed the video, obviously appreciate a subscribe. I love the hearts, so make sure you smash that like button or the thumbs up, whatever you're watching on it. And again, if you have any questions, comments, or thoughts, leave them below, and I'd be quick to get back to you, typically within the next 24 to 48 hours. Anytime I see a comment. So I look forward to working with you. If you want to come and work with me, obviously there are links below. Click that link below and you can team up with me and we can take action together to build your dream and to never, in this case with Got Backup, never lose another precious picture or photo or document ever again. Thanks.